sick pay was already broken before the pandemic struck. Yet even in a global health crisis, the government has chosen not to fix it, helping the virus spread out of control. Now, the government can't claim not to have been warned of the scale of this problem in advance, because in fact, just months before the COVID crisis struck, the government's own consultation on sick pay said, and I quote, "The system of sick pay, the system of statutory sick pay, does not reflect modern working practices, such as flexible working," and looked at, to quote, "widening eligibility for statutory sick pay to extend protection to those on the lowest incomes." Now, I, along with many in the labour and trade union movements, have been demanding better sick pay for workers for almost a year. In fact, it's a year ago tomorrow, when the UK had a total of just 3 deaths from COVID, that the TUC published a report warning the government to urgently make our sick pay system fit for purpose. The report called on the government to immediately raise sick pay to the level of the real living wage and make it accessible to all workers, including the lowest paid. Those recommendations were ignored. It was also last March that the Health Secretary himself said he could not afford to live off statutory sick pay. But 12 months on, his government has done nothing to raise it. If only the Health Secretary was as generous with the payments to working people as he appears to be with his friends when handing out government contracts. The government's refusal to act decisively has meant the virus has spread more than it would have done, and people have lost their lives who otherwise would be with us still. The government knew about this problem from day one, but chose not to address it. The decision not to raise sick pay to a level workers can actually live on is a deliberate political calculation from this government. They feared that if sick pay was improved during this crisis, then they would never be able to lower it again in the future. It would be a permanent gain for working people. And this Conservative government cannot allow that, because it would go against the grain of the constant undermining of our welfare state. Because fundamentally, the party opposite sees the social security system as a means to punish, be that by setting universal credit deliberately low or the cruel bedroom tax, rather than it being there to support people when they need help. The Chancellor has a chance to finally sort this issue out tomorrow at the budget. But if he doesn't, then once again, he will have shown which side this government is on, and it's not on the side of working people and their families.